this brutal winter hunt finally comes to an end, with hard-earned rewards. But the battle against invasive wild boars is far from over. It's an ongoing fight, one that demands patience, experience, and smart strategy. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. See you again in the next adventure.
그러지.
Texas, Alabama, Georgia, states across the American South are facing an enemy more dangerous than ever, wild hogs. They're not just tearing up crops and destroying farms, they're turning people's lives into a waking nightmare. And when electric fences can no longer hold them back, when warning shots mean nothing, there's only one option left: hunt them down and wipe them out. As a seasoned hunter, today I've teamed up with local farmers to track and eliminate the wild hogs ravaging their land. As night falls, familiar silhouettes start appearing. We decide it's time to begin the hunt. At first, only a few hogs show up, mostly isolated targets, making them relatively easy to take down. An hour passes, and the silence breaks. More and more groups begin to emerge. It takes nearly 10 minutes to observe them properly, but their constant movement and high alertness make it tricky to get a clean shot. It seems they've sensed something. One hog keeps looking around and quickly leads the herd to retreat. Their sharp sense of smell helps them escape danger with ease. I wasn't going to let them get away that easily.
Three, two, one.
I kept following their trail, eyes locked on a slow-moving hog. This was the moment I'd been waiting for. I held my breath, pulled the trigger. The bullet hit its mark, and a piercing squeal echoed through the night.
Oh!
A few dropped instantly, but most of them used the chaos to vanish into the dark. After half an hour of checking the surrounding areas, I finally spotted another target. On a muddy patch of land, a few hogs were foraging, unaware they were in my sights. I carefully aimed at the biggest one in the group. One shot rang out, and the herd scattered in a frenzy. But my target didn't stand a chance. It collapsed immediately from a clean shot. My teammates had surrounded the area, so there was no escape. The more panicked the hogs got, the more mistakes they made, and we capitalized on every one. After the dust settled, we didn't rest. Instead, we quietly tailed another, much larger group. From over 100 meters away, I picked a hog standing in a perfect position. It tried to bolt, but too late. A few more were dropped on the spot, the rest fled in fear. But I knew they'd be back. Just when we thought it was over, we ran into another massive and aggressive herd near the edge of the woods. These were big boys, coarse fur, thick bodies, and fearless demeanor. They were busy eating when I stumbled upon them. I took my time aiming, careful not to alert them. The shot rang out. One hog went down instantly without a chance to fight back. In the darkness, they moved like shadows. The herd was gathering, munching on spilled grain across the field, each one massive in size. With full focus, I leveled my rifle. No time to think, our team opened fire all at once, unleashing a storm of bullets. Perfect execution. One by one, the hogs dropped, and our team's morale soared with every hit. Sweeping my scope across the field, we spotted another group of hogs playing and feeding. Quietly, I picked my next target. With solid experience and preparation, my shot was nearly flawless. More hogs went down. But I wasn't done yet. I quickly scanned the area again, determined to take out a few more before wrapping up and heading home for some well-earned rest.
Last week, I had the chance to visit the Transdanubia region in western Hungary. At first, I just intended to take a light stroll, nothing too serious. But that morning, I happened to run into a few hunter friends who were gearing up for a wild boar hunt. And just like that, without hesitation, I rushed back to grab my rifle and backpacked along. The vast field by the edge of the forest, where wild boars often come to ravage the crops, was our playground for the day. The hunt began, and my heart was pounding with excitement beyond words. Going hunting with the locals means there's nothing to worry about. They know the forest like the back of their hand, every animal trail, and all the habits of the prey. The team stopped at a small trail cutting through the forest. I climbed up a tall hunting stand, eyes straining to scan every bare treetop ahead. Before long, wild boars appeared, so many it was impossible to count. The old hunters in the group fired in a flash, taking down 2 instantly. I quickly joined in and luckily managed to hit one from a herd. That was a great start. After that encounter, the hunter's blood in me boiled even more. And just then, another unlucky boar walked right into my sights. I fired immediately, no hesitation. But in the end, it still went down. The boar was hit and tumbled down the slope. From afar, shadows of wild boars started creeping forward. I tightened my grip on the rifle, ready to shoot. This time, I lay in wait by the roadside. A wild boar slowly wandered in from the other side. I fired with full determination. The boar collapsed by the roadside. Another trophy secured. To find more wild boars, I decided to follow the local hunters once again. For now, I had to deal with these wild boars first. Gunshots rang out, tearing through the forest silence. The very first shot hit the mark. There were more, so I quickly shifted targets. One after another, they went down, and I was thrilled. Felt like I had full control of the battlefield. The thrill lasted right until the final moments of the hunt. On the way out of the forest, I spotted a clearing covered in thick grass. These spots are wild boar mats. I figured I'd wait a few more minutes, might catch a few more. And just as I sensed, they appeared. The distance was a bit far, but I decided to take a shot anyway. Tightened my grip, aimed carefully, held my breath, and pulled the trigger. Perfect. One was down. Another startled and darted off, but that's fine. The day's haul had already exceeded expectations.